You wake up, check your blood sugar, and the number is frustratingly high. But you did everything right yesterday. You ate a healthy dinner. You avoided heavy sweets. You even took a walk in the evening. So why is your blood sugar spiking while you are fast asleep? It is one of the most common and frustrating things I hear from my older patients. They feel like they are fighting a losing battle, no matter how hard they try. But what if I told you that you are not failing? What if the missing piece to your blood sugar puzzle has absolutely nothing to do with what you are eating, but everything to do with exactly how you are drinking water? I'm Dr. Adrian Keller, and in today's video, we're talking about something incredibly simple, yet completely misunderstood by almost everyone over the age of 60. We are going to talk about water. Hydration plays a massive, fundamental role in blood sugar control, yet most of the advice out there is not meant for an aging body. The way you drank water in your 30s simply will not work for you in your 60s and 70s. Today, we are going to fix that together. Let us start with that frustrating morning blood sugar spike. Why does it happen even when you eat perfectly the night before? To understand this, we have to look at what your body is doing while you are fast asleep. Around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, your body starts quietly preparing you to wake up. To give you the energy you need to start the day, your liver releases a little bit of its stored sugar into your bloodstream. This is a completely natural, normal process. In the medical world, this is often called the dawn phenomenon. But as we get older, and especially if our bodies have developed some insulin resistance, we struggle to clear that morning sugar out of the blood. Now, I want you to imagine that you have gone 8, 9, or maybe even 10 hours without a single sip of water. You are waking up in a state of mild dehydration. When there is less water volume in your bloodstream, the sugar that your liver just released becomes much more highly concentrated. It is exactly like making a cup of sweet tea. If you put a spoonful of sugar into a large, tall glass of water, it is barely sweet at all. But if you take that exact same spoonful of sugar and put it into a tiny little teacup, it is overwhelmingly sweet. The total amount of sugar did not change, but the amount of liquid did. When you wake up dehydrated, your blood sugar reading on your monitor will be higher simply because your blood is thicker and more concentrated. But the relationship between your water intake and your blood sugar goes much deeper than just the early morning hours. Every minute of the day, your kidneys are working incredibly hard to filter your blood. When your blood sugar levels start to rise after a meal, your kidneys try to step in and help. They attempt to flush that excess sugar out of your bloodstream and into your urine. It is a brilliant, natural backup system designed to protect you. However, your kidneys absolutely cannot do this job without water. If you are not adequately hydrated, your kidneys are forced to hold on to whatever water they have left. This means they cannot flush out the extra sugar. The sugar gets trapped in your bloodstream, the numbers on your monitor start to climb, and your body enters a state of panic. It actually starts pulling water directly from your cells to try and dilute the thick, sugary blood. Have you ever noticed that when your blood sugar is running high, your mouth feels incredibly dry and you feel deeply thirsty? That is your body desperately begging for water, so the kidneys can do their job and lower the pressure. Proper hydration is like opening the release valve on your blood sugar. So why do so many seniors struggle with this? Why are so many older adults walking around chronically dehydrated? It usually comes down to a few very common everyday mistakes. Let us talk about the first big mistake, which is waiting until you feel thirsty to drink a glass of water. When you were 20 or 30 years old, your brain had a very sharp, very highly tuned alarm system for thirst. The exact moment your body needed water, you felt an undeniable urge to drink. But as we age, this internal alarm system begins to dull. The communication signals between your body and your brain slow down. By the time you actually feel a dry mouth or a physical sense of thirst in your 60s or 70s, you are already significantly dehydrated. Your cells are already struggling. Your blood is already becoming more concentrated, and your blood sugar is already creeping up. You simply cannot rely on the feeling of thirst anymore as your reminder to drink. You have to start drinking by a schedule, not by a feeling. The next big mistake I see every single week in my clinic is relying on the wrong fluids, specifically coffee and regular tea. I know exactly how comforting a hot cup of coffee is in the morning. Many of my patients tell me they get plenty of fluids because they finish a whole pot of coffee every morning. But we have to look at the truth about caffeine. Caffeine acts as a mild diuretic. That means it sends a signal to your kidneys to release water. While a cup of coffee does indeed contain water, the caffeine prompts your body to flush fluid out of your system faster than it normally would. You are not getting the full, lasting, hydrating benefit of that liquid. If you are starting your day with 2 cups of coffee and absolutely no plain water, you are actually pushing your body further into dehydration right at the exact moment your liver is releasing that morning blood sugar. I am certainly not saying you have to give up your morning coffee, but you absolutely cannot count it as your primary source of hydration for blood sugar control. Another major mistake, and this is perhaps the most common one of all, is drinking too much water all at once. People suddenly realize late in the afternoon that they have not had anything to drink all day. So they go to the kitchen, pour a massive glass of ice water, and drink it straight down in a few gulps. They think they are catching up on their daily requirement. But your body does not work that way, especially as you get older. When you flood your empty stomach with a massive volume of water all at once, your body simply cannot absorb it into the cells quickly enough. Because it cannot be absorbed, it passes straight through your digestive system, directly into your bladder, and you end up running to the bathroom 20 minutes later. You did not hydrate your dry cells. You did not dilute the sugar in your bloodstream. You just flushed heavy water through your plumbing system. Hydration is not about the total volume you drink. It is about how much your body can actually absorb. You want a slow, steady trickle of water throughout the day. Think of it like a slow drip irrigation system for a garden, rather than a sudden, violent flood that just washes all the topsoil away. And that brings us to the biggest elephant in the room. The number one reason my senior patients confess that they do not drink enough water is because they do not want to be running to the bathroom all day, and they especially do not want to wake up in the middle of the night. I completely understand this fear. Sleep is precious, and mobility issues can sometimes make frequent bathroom trips difficult or even dangerous in the dark. But chronically dehydrating yourself to avoid using the bathroom is causing profound, quiet damage to your metabolism, your nerves, your heart, and your blood sugar. The solution to this problem is not to stop drinking water. The solution is to completely change when and how you drink it. Let us talk about the absolute best hydration schedule for seniors to support healthy blood sugar and stay out of the bathroom at night. We are going to be strategic. The single most important glass of water you will drink all day is the one you have right after you open your eyes. Remember that morning blood sugar spike from the liver we talked about earlier? We need to tackle that immediately. Before you walk to the coffee maker, before you sit down for breakfast, I want you to drink 1 tall glass of room temperature water. It does not have to be ice cold. In fact, room temperature water is much gentler on an older digestive system and is absorbed more easily. This single morning glass of water does wonders for your aging body. It gently wakes up your digestive tract. It replaces all the moisture you lost simply from breathing while you slept. And most importantly, it immediately begins to dilute that highly concentrated sugar in your blood. Make this morning glass a non-negotiable daily habit. The next strategic time to drink water is about 30 minutes before your meals. This is a fantastic, simple trick for blood sugar control. When you drink a glass of water half an hour before you sit down for lunch or dinner, you are prehydrating your body. This prepares your stomach lining to properly break down your food, but it also does something else very clever. It creates a slight sense of physical fullness, which can naturally help prevent overeating. Furthermore, it ensures that your bloodstream has enough fluid volume ready and waiting to handle the incoming glucose from your meal. I recommend avoiding drinking huge amounts of water while you are actively chewing and swallowing your food, as this can dilute your stomach acid and slow down your digestion. Drink your water 30 minutes before the meal begins. As the afternoon rolls around, keep a glass of water near your favorite chair and take small sips. Remember the slow drip irrigation system we discussed. Taking a small sip every 10 or 15 minutes is absorbed beautifully by your cells, much better than a whole glass swallowed in seconds. Now, to protect your precious sleep and keep you out of the bathroom at 2 in the morning, we are going to use a tapering strategy. You should aim to get about 70 to 80% of your total daily water intake finished by the late afternoon, let us say around 4 or 5 o'clock. After dinner, you must dramatically reduce your fluid intake. You can certainly have a small sip to take your evening medications, or a tiny amount if your mouth feels uncomfortably dry, but you must stop the steady drinking. By front-loading your water earlier in the day, your cells get all the deep hydration they need to manage your blood sugar, but your bladder has plenty of time to empty before your head hits the pillow. How do you know if you are currently walking around dehydrated and making your blood sugar worse right now? There are a few subtle signs you need to watch for carefully. A dry mouth or a sticky, thick feeling on your tongue is an obvious one. But, as we discussed, do not wait for that to happen. Instead, pay close attention to your daily energy levels. Unexplained fatigue, especially that heavy tiredness that hits in the mid-afternoon, is very often a direct sign of low water in the body, not just a lack of sleep. If you feel dizzy or lightheaded when you stand up from a chair or get out of bed, that is a major warning sign. It means your blood volume is low due to dehydration, and your blood pressure is dropping when you stand. Take a look at your skin, especially on the back of your hands. If you pinch the skin gently and it stays tented up in a little ridge instead of snapping right back down smoothly, your tissues are crying out for more water. And of course, look at the color of your urine. It should be a pale, very light, straw-like yellow. If it is dark yellow, amber, or smells strongly, your kidneys are struggling, and your blood sugar is guaranteed to be more concentrated than it needs to be. Let us bring this all together into a very simple, practical routine you can start tomorrow morning without spending a dime. Wake up and immediately drink a glass of room temperature water. Have your morning coffee if you enjoy it, but match it with a few extra sips of water. Keep a glass nearby and take slow, small sips throughout your morning routine. Drink 1 glass 30 minutes before you eat lunch. Take small sips through the afternoon while you read or watch television. Have 1 final glass 30 minutes before dinner. and then intentionally cut back on all fluids for the rest of the evening. That is the entire system. No expensive medical supplements, no complicated restrictive diets. Just strategic, smart, sensible hydration tailored specifically for an aging body. I know that managing your health after 60 can sometimes feel like a heavy burden. It is so easy to look at rising blood sugar numbers, feel frustrated, and feel totally defeated. But I want you to remember something very important today. Your body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal. It desperately wants to find balance. Sometimes we just have to get out of its way and give it the simple, basic tools it needs to do its job. Water is the most fundamental tool you have in your toolbox. By simply changing how and when you drink water, you are giving your hardworking kidneys a helping hand. You are protecting your delicate nerves from concentrated sugar damage. And most importantly, you are taking a massive step toward keeping your independence and your vitality. You are not failing. You are just learning how to operate a slightly older, much wiser machine. I would love to hear from you now. Please take a moment to comment down below with your age and where you are watching from today. Tell me, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to drinking enough water? Is it the fear of waking up at night to use the bathroom, or do you simply forget to drink during the day? Let us talk about it in the comments. Small changes made early can protect your independence for years to come. Stay strong, stay sharp, and I will see you in the next video.